Wow, what a beautiful day here in Middle Tennessee, y'all. I'm out for my walk. It was rainy and cooler early in the week. We've got more rain coming, but today it's perfect. So I got out. Been kind of depressed. Dr. Fauci getting that pardon was a real kick in the gut for many of us. And then the other night, I got in a fight with a friend at dinner, and I made him walk home after he seemingly supported bombing hospitals. War's ugly. There are rules of war, and the Geneva Conventions exist. War brings out the worst in anyone, that is for sure. And again, the first casualty of any war is obviously the truth. But when it comes to the battlefield and whatnot, I live on a battlefield. Carton Plantation served as a Confederate hospital during that war. And being a healthcare professional, in my humble opinion, I think hospitals need to be off limits, especially when there's innocent men, women, and children up in there, maternity wards and whatnot. The warriors, they're going to carry it out on the battlefield by all means, but, leave the hospitals alone, leave the churches alone, leave the schools alone. It's a sad situation in Gaza. 75 years of that, I believe, and counting. All that area. World War I, World War II, statehood, colonization, the empires. It gets deep. It really gets deep. And, how we hold it together here in America is one thing. And we haven't always. Again, I live on a battlefield, and I walk back here every day, and I visit the graves of the fallen. It's a big mass grave in my backyard. And, these things are very real. I've treated people from war zones. I've treated soldiers. I've treated PTSD. I've treated amputees. I've treated them all. And it's ugly. It's very ugly. Either way, Germany marched into Poland because, there's always been Germans in Poland. Russia moved into the Ukraine because, there's always been Russians in the Ukraine. And the Israelis are moving into Gaza now, and their excuse is, there's always been Jews in Palestine. So go figure. I pray for peace. I definitely pray for the innocent men, women, and children that get caught up in these war zones. I pray for the warriors. I served. I have friends that have served. My son is in the Navy now. And as I told my friend, I pray to God that he's never shot down over enemy territory. But if so, I hope that he's treated with somewhat with respect, I guess. John McCain was tortured. There's been reports in Israel of Palestinians being sodomized. Yeah, I know. Of course, that goes on in U.S. jails as well. I've seen it, not personally, but I've seen it in the news where people take a broomstick to somebody and let them have it. Go figure. The barbarism of man. It can be quite ugly. What's hurtful to me, again, moral injury is real, is that right now in Gaza, they have had to do amputations on children without any anesthesia. I had dinner with my Jewish attorney the other night, and I've looked at ways of maybe adopting a Palestinian child, but under the current situation and the laws, you can't do it. Not a big fan of Hezbollah, for sure. Not a big fan of radical anybody. But how do you arrive at these things? And again, once you do arrive at those things, if you're not going to abide by the laws, what good are they in the first place? So equal rights, human rights, justice, war crimes. crimes against humanity, Anthony Fauci, pardons. It's deep. It's absolutely deep. It's as if these secret societies do exist and they're running the show behind the curtain, so to speak. I don't know. It's amazing what you can do with fiat currency or paper money, especially when you just print that stuff up. It's all a digit on the ledger. Go back and watch The Matrix. It's deep. So I pray for peace. I pray for justice. Is there going to be any? Probably not. You know, like George Carlin says, be happy with what you got. It's a big club and you ain't in it. So never give up your guns. Stay healthy. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, go to church on Sunday, wear your seatbelt, take your vitamins, exercise daily, and keep your hands washed. Pay close attention. Don't fall for the propaganda, because there's a lot of that. You know, when it comes to the bombing these hospitals, we've heard that, well, there was Al-Qaeda members or Hamas members in there, and they were storing guns. I don't care. You know, I've been in the hospital when gangs are fighting outside the door, shootings here in Nashville, and the wounded come in, and the other gang members want to come in and finish the job. Well, we don't allow that, thank God. We go on lockdown and we hold justice and whatnot, and we'll hold people for the authorities to come, and it's called due process and the rule of law. You know, I was in the hospital one night. There was a murder in West Nashville, and the suspect was at large, and I had a woman in one of my rooms, and there was a gentleman in that room, and the next thing I know, there's some undercover guys sneaking around the hospital, and I found out that was the killer, and he was on the run, and they were looking for him. Thank God they didn't come in there blazing with the SWAT team. So, unreal. I mean, doctors and nurses, come on, dude. I don't care where they are. Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Gaza, Mexico, wherever. They're just caring for a broken humanity to begin with. Bombing them while they're doing their job, you know. Again, moral injury is real. So peace and love, y'all. Pray for our leaders, pray for peace. That's all we can do, because it's deep. Peace.